Hello, and welcome to my channel. Penguins are amazing birds that have been around for millions of years. They're flightless, yet they're descendants of flying birds, and they live in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. The reason why they're able to survive in these conditions is because of their unique adaptations. So today we're going to be going over 5 mind-blowing penguin facts you never knew. And the first fact is that penguins can move surprisingly fast on land, in water, and in the air. You see, while penguins might seem like they're slow and clumsy on land, if they need to get somewhere quickly, they can actually waddle at speeds up to 25 miles per hour. This means that if a penguin wanted to, it could easily outrun most humans. However, it's unlikely that a penguin would ever do this, as they prefer to keep their energy levels high by conserving energy. But when it comes to swimming, penguins are even faster. Penguins can swim at speeds up to 60 miles per hour and can dive to depths of up to 1,700 feet. These adaptations allow them to escape predators such as leopard seals and killer whales, and as well as catch fish, squid, and other prey items that they consume. Although not all penguins can swim this fast or dive this deep. For example, the little blue penguin, which is the smallest penguin species, can only dive to depths of 33 feet and is not capable of swimming nearly as fast as other penguins. But now, let's go back to the Adelie penguin, who is capable of diving 1,700 feet and swimming 60 miles per hour. As impressive as these stats are, they're not even close to the fastest animal in the ocean, which is the sailfish, who can swim at speeds up to 68 miles per hour. But what about in the air? Well, as most of you know, penguins cannot fly, but there is one exception, the Galapagos penguin, who is the only penguin species that lives north of the equator, and due to this, they are able to take advantage of warm ocean currents that allow them to fly short distances. Now, it should be noted that these flights are usually no more than 20 feet off the ground and no more than a few hundred yards in distance. And some scientists debate whether the Galapagos penguins are truly flying or simply gliding. But regardless, it's still pretty cool that there's at least one species of penguin that can fly. Now, before we move on to the next fact, make sure to smash the like button and leave a comment down below. Also, stick around to the end to learn about an organization that's working hard to save penguins and their habitat. Fact number 2 is that emperor penguins can fast for months without eating anything. This is very impressive, considering that most animals need to eat every couple days to survive. But the emperor penguin can survive 2 to 3 months without food. There are multiple reasons for this adaptation. For example, during the winter months, daylight hours are extremely short in Antarctica, and this makes it difficult for penguins to find food. In addition to this, food is scarce in Antarctica, and penguins need to be able to survive long periods without food in order to find enough to eat. In fact, each year the ice in Antarctica expands, making it even more difficult for penguins to find food. This, combined with the decrease in daylight hours during the winter, creates a perfect storm that tests the limits of the emperor penguin's endurance. To adapt to these harsh conditions, the emperor penguin has evolved to enter a state called torpor, similar to hibernation. During this time, their body temperature drops, their heart rate slows, and they basically use almost no energy. In fact, an Adelie penguin can lower its metabolic rate by 25% when underwater. This allows them to conserve energy and survive for long periods of time without food. Fact 3 is that emperor penguins have special feathers that help them withstand the freezing cold temperatures of Antarctica. These feathers are actually hollow and filled with a type of fat called blubber. The blubber acts as an insulator, helping to keep the penguin warm in sub-zero temperatures. In addition to this, penguins also have a thick layer of skin under their feathers that also helps with insulation. However, not all penguins have this adaptation. For example, Galapagos penguins live in much warmer climates and have thinner, less insulated feathers as a result. But what about when penguins go underwater? Well, it turns out that penguins' feathers actually repel water. This means that water doesn't stick to their feathers, and it instead beads up and rolls off, helping to keep the penguin dry and warm. Now, it should be noted that this adaptation doesn't help the penguin while it's on land, but it's crucial when they're in the water. Water can easily cool a bird down and cause hypothermia, but thanks to their specialized feathers, penguins are able to stay warm even in freezing cold water temperatures. Now, speaking of water, did you know that penguins can drink salty ocean water without getting dehydrated? That's right. While most animals need to drink fresh water, penguins are able to extract the fresh water they need from the ocean water. They do this using special glands located above their eyes. These glands filter out the salt from the water, leaving behind fresh water that the penguin can drink. But now, let's move on to fact number 4, which is that penguins have special eyes that help them see in the dark. As I mentioned earlier, during the winter months in Antarctica, daylight hours are extremely short. Because of this, penguins have evolved to have special eyes that allow them to see in low light conditions. Their eyes are much larger than those of most birds, which allows them to gather more light and see better in the dark. In addition to this, penguins also have a reflective layer in their eyes called the tapetum lucidum, which further enhances their ability to see in the dark. This is the same reflective layer that's found in the eyes of many nocturnal animals, such as cats and dogs. Now, you might be wondering why this adaptation is important. Well, you see, penguins are active during the day, and this can put them at risk of being spotted by predators, such as leopard seals. Leopard seals are known for their incredible eyesight and are able to spot penguins from great distances. If a leopard seal spots a penguin, it will quickly swim towards it and try to eat it. Therefore, it's important for penguins to be able to see well in the dark so they can avoid predators. Also, stick around to the end to learn about an organization that's working hard to save penguins and their habitat. Now, onto the 5th and final fact, which is that penguins have a built-in GPS system that allows them to navigate to their colony each year. Every year, millions of penguins travel thousands of miles back to their colony to breed. If they didn't have some sort of navigation system, it would be highly unlikely that they'd be able to find their way back to their colony each year. Scientists believe that penguins are able to navigate using a combination of visual landmarks, the Earth's magnetic field, and the stars. By using these methods, penguins are able to travel thousands of miles each year and accurately navigate to their breeding colony. In fact, researchers have found that even after being transported to a different part of Antarctica, penguins are still able to find their way back to their original colony. This shows just how strong their navigational abilities are. One study even showed that after Adelie penguins were moved 500 miles away from their native colony, they were still able to find their way back home. This is truly remarkable considering that the penguins had to travel across open water to get back to their colony. And it just goes to show that penguins really are amazing creatures. But now it's time for you to make a pledge to help save penguins and their habitat. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.